You know, I'll never forget the day a white buddy of mine said black people don't deserve equality because they could never get enough. And that's true. White people are actually scared of equality. That's just how racist we are as a people. And it's not just that one person. White culture in general. Probably I would say most white people, when they hear the word equality, they fear that white people will be oppressed because brown, black, and indigenous people might actually get what's fair and just. That's just how racist we are. And we're so obsessed with the idea of not having equality in America for black, brown, and indigenous people that we don't have health care, that we don't have economic equality. We don't have reasonable gun laws. Our liberties are being stripped because we have a fascist, racist, white supremacist regime in office because we are so scared of equality. We're so scared that black and brown folks might become the majority one day. That we had a black president, and now we've got to have a white supremacist president. That's how scared we are of equality. That's how racist we are as a people. Go to the fucking root. The root of America's problems. The root of the white man and the white woman, their problems, and America and the world. If you think about it, colonialization, white supremacy, the mentality of white people today, not just yesterday, today, right now, the denial racially, the silence, the apathy, the continuous gaslighting, all that fucking shit. That's ruined us. It's ruined white people, and it's ruining our nation. And whose fault is it? White people's fault. Their inability to fucking fix their goddamn problem. Until we fix white supremacy, everything we try will fail. It's dysfunctional and it's toxic, and Trump and this regime is the perfect proof of all that shit. How we got in this fucking mess? White people's bullshit. White people's racist fucking bullshit. Period.
I think white people are so triggered by black joy because they have zero control over it. And white people are all about control. And anything they don't get to control and manage and dictate freaks them the hell out.
They don't get to be the leader.
Every other day, it's another story about a white person being uncomfortable with a black person in a space they consider a white space, whether it be a damn gym in a private office building or jogging in a predominantly white neighborhood. What do y'all not understand that segregation ended in 1964? Where the hell have you been, baby? Where have you been? Okay? And I have to ask you, what is it about black people that makes you so damn uncomfortable? Do y'all ever ask yourself that? Because realistically, according to statistics, they have a hell of a lot more to fear from us than we do from them. So why don't you marinate on that for a second?
The conversation about racial equality in America continues to spark strong emotion and difficult questions. Well, in this video, we'll look at why some Americans feel threatened by changes in racial equality and progress, why others see these changes as an important step toward a fairer society. Let's watch some of these clips. Please don't forget to like my video, subscribe to my channel, and tell me what you think in the comments. All right, guys, let's get into it.
To be equal to anyone. Listening to you are so prejudiced. I just can't believe it. I am shocked. You're scaring me.
I think we hear violence.
I'm so scared to go around the world next year because I was never a prejudiced person until I'm listening to you. It's really scary hearing what you're saying. I'm very scared.
With white people fearing, you know, what will the black folks do and stuff? We should be running down the street screaming, ramping, and raving, because when you look at the statistics, who is the one dying? From the policemen, from the KKK, from the skinheads. What is he saying that you have a problem with? And why is it when a black man stands up to speak for his people and other people stand up to speak for their people, there's no problem with it? But you're saying he said black, he said Jew. When people talk, they talk like that. But why is it when a black man stands up to speak for his people, you feel so threatened, everybody's paranoid? And you talk about it's not segregation. We live in Harlem, we live in Watts, we live in Bedford-Stuyvesant. That's a form of segregation. We walk through Bensonhurst, we get killed. So what are you talking about?
The young lady said she's afraid of violence.
And isn't it sad that we who have been the victims of so much violence, now whites fear violence from us? We do not have a history of killing white people. White people have a history of killing us. See? And what you fear, may I say this, sir? What you fear, and it's a deep guilt thing, that white folks suffer. You are afraid that if we ever come to power, we will do to you and your fathers what you and your people have done to us. And I think you are judging us by the state of your own mind, and that is not necessarily the mind of black people.
So this lady asks, this black lady, are white women really that scared of black women? And I'm going to say yes. And this is my opinion as a white woman who is 53 years old and has lived in the South in Georgia in my entire life. But it's not being scared, but it's a fear. And it's not a physical fear. It is the mental fear. It is what we see in you and what we see you doing and how it challenges us and the fear of that. So we see black women and we see how strong you are. We see you coming together as a community. We see you supporting each other. We see you supporting your community, supporting your families, supporting your children, going out and fighting for your rights, being authentic in your race and in your femininity. Anyway. And we're jealous. I think we're jealous because we would love to be that, I think, and we don't know how to break out of the indoctrination that we have been suppressed by our entire lives. And I'm not giving white women a pass, don't get me wrong, but I know I, and most women, white women have been told our entire lives, be quiet, know your place, be a good girl, don't rock the boat, don't be too much. And when you are any of those things, you are ostracized because you have rocked their boat. And that is what black women are. You rock our boat, our mental boat, because you challenge us to look at how we are deficient and not living in our truth, and it makes us uncomfortable. And people don't like to be uncomfortable. And it makes us start to question ourselves, and people don't like to question themselves. We would rather live in our little bubble of white supremacy and what we know and comfortableness. I know that's not a word. Than a lot of people would, white women would, rather than challenge themselves to grow and know more, because it's easy. Doing the work is hard. It's really hard. I've been doing the work the past several years, and it's hard. It is hard admitting some truths about yourself and some truths about yourself as a white woman. So yeah, I think that white women are scared of black women because you challenge us in that way, and a lot of us don't like it. And that's why we fear you. It's because we fear what you make us face.
I'm going to say this and I don't give a who cries in the comments. It's about to get real. I'm done apologizing for being white. Every day it's check your white privilege. I didn't write Jim Crow. People who never picked cotton want to check from people who never owned a plantation. I was born in the 1980s. I'm not guilty. I'm not sorry. I never was.
Nobody's asking you to apologize. Society's just asking you to acknowledge and behave accordingly, and that shouldn't be difficult, and it certainly shouldn't make you this angry. We're asking you to acknowledge that our society has been built on the back of those who were exploited just because of the color of their skin. Acknowledge that America still very much operates on the principle that rights and opportunities vary depending on that color of your skin. Acknowledge that whether you want it or not, whether you're looking for it or not, white privilege exists. And white privilege isn't about you demanding to be treated better, so calm down. White privilege is about black Americans being treated differently. Because whether you like it or not, whether you want it or not, whether you celebrate it or not, the truth is that black Americans are still receiving prison sentences that are 20% longer than white people for the exact same crime. And black Americans are still less likely to be approved for a mortgage than white Americans with the exact same financial profile. And right here in the United States, black students are more likely to be suspended or expelled than white students who commit the exact same violations. This is what we mean when we talk about white privilege. Nobody's asking you to apologize because you personally are white. We're asking you to acknowledge that black people are still running our society's competition for success, burdened by inequality and injustice. I shouldn't apologize because racism existed until 1868 shows us how blind you are to the daily systemic injustices black Americans have to endure every day. And that is probably the most glaring example of white privilege you could ever give us.
White people think the only way to let black people shine is to do nothing, is to literally hold back. The Met Gala so perfectly exemplifies white people's failure to participate because they think that they're going to be centered. Well, walk with me. So oftentimes, white people will say things like, I'm going to take a step back and let black people shine, as if black people couldn't possibly still hold the spotlight while you participated, because white people's participation is predicated on them being centered. Think about white friends you've had that are like, oh, well, I don't want to invade all black spaces. I don't want to be there. You assume by going to this reggaeton night, by going to this hip hop night, you are going to be centered despite entering a space that is largely black people. You assume that your presence in general would somehow be so central to the experience of others that it would disrupt the blackness in the room. So you opt out. Your idea of being respectful as a white person is essentially hiding your light under a bushel so that other people have the capacity to shine. This is paternalism. This is paternalism to its core. I will take a back seat to graciously, by withdrawing my potential for distraction and centeredness, allow another person to shine. So then just admit it. You think you're better than us, and so you can't participate on an even playing field, because what would happen? You would just outshine us, wouldn't you?
I have a question. Do police officers make you nervous?
Heck yes.
Now, what if it was a black police officer?
Nah, it's different. So, black people often navigate white spaces as a foreigner. As I sit in this room, I'm one of 3 black people in here. You sit in this room and you're one of 35 white people in here. It's natural for you.
Yeah.
You're home. Whenever I walk into a room, a restaurant, church, anywhere, I'm looking for black people. Just in case something pops off, it's like, okay, we here. Me and you, like we're together. Because so many black people in life have probably gone through some sort of struggle, there's an instant connection.
And it makes you relax a little bit more. Or,
yeah.
I mean, you're still dealing with a cop, so you're nervous naturally.
But it's if I can now be honest, I see he's black before I see he's a cop.
Right.
I see you all are cops first.
The biggest reason that I know that white feminism is a real problem is just the perceived threat that so many white women feel from black women just existing. Before I continue, I'm going to reference myself as attractive. Yes, I know, shocker. I did this before and y'all got on my ass. I don't know what to say, we're gonna keep doing it. But as a black woman, when you transition from unattractive to being perceived as attractive, you will notice a change in behavior from not only men, but also women, specifically white women. Especially when you don't fit a certain stereotype that they associate with your race and what they deem a black woman should act like. It's almost like they don't know how to act with you and they end up, feeling this contempt. They implicitly know that they are the standard. They have been socialized to know that. It's been their experience to have men want them of any race. But in that, they also know that whiteness is sort of blankness. And I actually don't mean that in a mean way. I mean, it is the standard. It's the norm. It is the opposite of exoticism. So in their male-centered minds, they're thinking, yeah, in majority of cases, I'm going to get the guy. But when they want a little switch up, a change from their usual, that is when women of color, specifically black women, become a big threat. It's a lot of them sort of know that a lot of girls look like them. A lot of pretty girls look like them. They can never account for the allure of a deviation from that norm. When they see an attractive black woman, it's like, okay, I have to see it. How can I fight against this? I don't have the facilities to fight against this. And to compensate for that, I think that's why we see a lot of white women try to play into the features of women of color. The style, the slick backs, the lip filler, mannerisms, all of it. They want to be able to oscillate between all types of attractiveness, become this sort of maxed out woman who has every single thing a guy could ever want at any time. Because they are so used to being the standard, they cannot accept someone wanting something different. So they kind of try to borrow parts of you to become that, so that won't happen again. It's very interesting, and it happens more than you would think.
This is why people don't trust white people, because it is peak whiteness and colonizer behavior to demand civility for a man who denies others their humanity. That's the oppressor, and we do not need to sympathize or empathize with them. And don't get me wrong, because I long for a world where there is no violence in it. But until all of us are free, none of us are free, and violence is part of the equation because of the oppressor, not the oppressed. We need to understand that violence comes in many forms, and white people need to learn it most of all. And if none of that is enough to convince you, then how about the fact that Charlie Kirk said empathy is a made-up new age word that does harm, and that is the one directive of his that I am willing to honor.
I'm in these non-toxic groups on Facebook where people live non-toxic lives, and we're looking for non-toxic recommendations for the products that we use. And I made a Facebook post, this was a while back, and I was like, I'm looking for Black-owned non-toxic hair product recommendations for my entire family who has various hair types. And my post was just met with so many white women who are like, that's racist. Why are you looking for Black-owned? I'm telling you, this post got endless comments full of hatred. Like, it just kept coming and coming and coming. We support Black businesses to get rid of the racial wealth gap. Like, it's seriously the least that you can do. It's the easiest thing that you can do. So I was like talking with these people in the comments, and they're coming at me and they're attacking me. And it brought out a side of me that I'm not proud of. I called them what they were. And basically my entire post got taken down. And so I didn't get any answers. But if this isn't a really good example of how white people don't want Black people to succeed, I don't know what is. And so if you have any good recommendations for non-toxic products in general that are Black owned, I would love for you to drop them in the comments, because I did get a couple of answers, but the post got taken down so suddenly that I couldn't write them down. And then some that we found that we ended up trying just didn't work out the way that we hoped. We have hair types ranging from 4A to C and hair like mine. But I'm always looking for Black-owned businesses that I can support in general, and products that are non-toxic are a big plus.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before we get into today's topic, please don't forget to like my video, subscribe to my channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. Why does racial equality still make some people uncomfortable? You know, for some American, progress means finally creating a society where race doesn't determine someone's opportunity or how they are being treated. But others see certain changes as unfair, right? Unnecessary, or even a threat to the way things has traditionally been. And this is where the conversation becomes complicated, right? When a group that has historically faced disadvantage start gaining more opportunities and representation, some people may feel that they are losing something, or even when the goal is simply greater equality. But equality isn't supposed to mean taking something away from one group and giving it to another. It's about creating a fairer playing ground or playing field. At the same time, we have to acknowledge that America don't all experience racial progress in the same way. Some see real change happening, while others believe discrimination and inequality are still deeply rooted in the society. So maybe the bigger question isn't who is winning. Maybe it's why does someone else's progress sometimes feels like a threat or feel like a threat? Because Americans can't move forward if every step towards equality becomes a battle over who deserves to belong. What do you guys think? What do you think? As Americans truly make progress on racial equality, or is there still a long way to go? Well, I'd like you to drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notification for more honest conversation about race, politics, and American society as a whole. Once again, thanks for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye. Love ya. Mwah.